The outstandingly successful British TV show Education was a home run for Netflix, featuring excellent performances from Gillian Anderson, Emma Mackey, Ncuti Gatwa, and Asa Butterfield. The show has been deservedly praised for its writing, dialogue, and handling of themes of LGBTQ+ representation. To take it all in this video, we've rounded up the 10 best episodes from the show. So, spoiler alert, don't say we didn't warn you. Let's dig right in. At number 10, we have Season 3's episode number 6. With the way things are at the school, the pressure seems to be mounting on Hope Haddon, who's become the new head teacher. She forced Lily, Adam, and Cal to wear shame signs around their necks, publicly embarrassing them in front of the entire school assembly. She then also went on to suspend Raheem when he dared to voice his opinions on the decisions she was making. The episode orchestrated a fantastic case of how the antagonist of the show went just one step too far, which became the turning point for the students, and they eventually rebelled against her. The episode was also an eye-opener when it comes to Eric, who has always been somebody who's been the happiest just being unapologetically himself. But going to visit Nigeria meant he also had to deal with the fact that being openly gay in his home country's considered illegal. It's a painful tug of emotions in Eric's heart, because Nigeria is the place where he can reconnect with his roots and visit his beloved family. But it's also a place where an essential part of him must always remain hidden. For number 9, we have Season 2's episode number 3. The central part of this season's episode focused on Amy and her really unfortunate experience of getting assaulted when she traveled on the bus to get to school. Amy is more upset at the fact that her cake was messed up and that her favorite pair of jeans were stained because of the man on her leg, rather than the awful reality that she was violated by a stranger. Amy doesn't seem too bothered about it, but when her best friend Maeve hears the story, she makes her go to the police station to file a report. You can't deny the birthday girl, now can you? Once home, Amy eventually breaks down, which gives an insight that she wasn't really unbothered by the whole thing as she let on, but it actually affected her. This particular moment changes everything for her character moving forward, from her relationship with her boyfriend to her fear of riding the bus. Moving on to number 8 with Season 1's episode number 8. This season was a complete banger, and episode 8 ended with us wanting a whole lot more education. After the dramatic events that transpired at the school dance, Otis and Maeve realized their relationship was quite fractured. But then, as he sent her the essay prize that was technically rightfully hers, she rushes off to confess her feelings for him. Unfortunately, when she arrives to see Otis kissing Ola, it left all of us with the biggest cliffhanger. The episode also surprised us with Adam and Eric hooking up together, but their potential romance was hindered when Adam comes home to find out he's being shipped to military school. The episode's an excellent example of the multiple facets of emotions that most high school teens are dealing with. Each of them comes from different family dynamics that ultimately tie into who they are at their very core. Coming up is number 7 with Season 1's episode number 3. After finding out she's pregnant with Jackson's child, Maeve decides to go for an abortion and needs someone who can take her home afterward. She decides not to tell Jackson about it and chooses Otis as the one to be there for her. But Otis thinks they're meeting up for a date, and while Maeve tells him off for that, he still stuck around and made sure he was there till the very end. The episode was critically praised for the fantastic way it handled the controversial subject of abortion, and it's also one of the first instances when Maeve realizes that Otis was someone special, someone who would always be there for her. It's kinda cute. Moving on to number 6 with Season 3's episode 1. Fans had to wait a whole year for all new episodes of Education Season 3, and that's exactly where this episode began. It was integral to establish where all the characters were at this point, including Otis and Ruby's history of casually hooking up, Otis and Maeve not being close at all, and Hope as the new head teacher, among other key points. While there weren't any groundbreaking moments in this episode, it delivered exactly what the audiences were waiting for, and we were just happy to be back in the world of Education. It also set the stage for some of the most important storylines that would be featured for the rest of the season. For number 5, we have Season 3's Episode 2. After the news of their hookups goes public, the two decide to embrace their reality and come out on top. Ruby gives Otis a makeover, so he'll fit in during their lunches at school. It's all about flashy shirts, coiffed hair, and sweaters from a terribly reluctant Anwar. It's a bit of a cliche because Ruby wants Otis to somehow look worthy of being with her and keeps obliging until he realizes that the clothes just aren't him. He changes back into his classic striped orange t-shirt and stands up to Ruby to declare he just wants to be himself, but he also likes her a lot. It's satisfying to see Otis voice his concerns to Ruby, and it ends up with a seriously surprising development for all of us. They officially start dating. Following up with number 4 is Season 3's Episode 4. We think most fans will agree when we say that Mimi Keen, who plays Ruby in the show, was the absolute star of Season 3. Her relationship with Otis was far more surprising than anyone could have expected, and could easily be labeled as heartwarming. But they were emotionally in trouble because Otis couldn't say he loved her back, and it all came crashing down at the end of the episode. Ruby breaks down after the two of them talk, and we get to see a much more vulnerable side to her when all of us were pretty used to seeing her mean girl persona before all of this. She let Otis into her life unlike anybody else before him, and it resulted in a broken heart, which made her think it might have been a mistake to begin with. Keen gives us a really powerful performance that had us feeling empathetic toward Ruby for the first time. At number 3, we have Season 2's Episode 6. Otis agrees to break all contact with Maeve at Ola's request, but then Ola dumps him as well, and he's left without both ladies in his life. To get over the whole situation, he proceeds to throw a party, and it ends up with both girls showing up at his house for different reasons. This leads to Otis making some terrible decisions. First, he decides to get ridiculously drunk. He then disrupts the entire party to yell at both of the girls, followed by a confession that he always did like Maeve a lot more than Ola. This scene was a really low point for Otis, but also offers a deeper insight into his character. The reason for throwing this party together was because he wanted to prove, maybe just to himself, that he can be relaxed and spontaneous, something Ola accused him of not being able to do when they broke up. Coming up at number 2 is Season 1's Episode 7. Everything comes to a head at the school dance, and Maeve gets all dolled up, looking gorgeous, but Jackson doesn't even notice since he's already distracted. Otis, of course, does notice her, but as luck would have it, he's on a date with Ola. Ola and Maeve interact with each other for the first time, and Otis ends up saying the wrong thing, and Ola leaves. He also delivers an emotional speech to help another student, but is obviously a tirade about his feelings for Maeve, causing Maeve and Jackson to split up. This one gets a special mention because of all the teen emotions flowing in the air, but nothing that's coming out seems to be the right thing. And that's exactly what most teenage experiences are. Complicated and confusing, but perhaps something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Finally, at number 1, it's Season 3's Episode number 7. Hope's terror reign finally comes to an end, and in the most spectacular way possible. The students of Moordale rebel against the head teacher and put on a performance calling themselves the school, an absolute nightmare for Haddon. She then takes out her anger and frustration by getting physical with Eric, Cal, and Ruby. But then Ruby saves the day by spraying perfume in her eyes. It's really a show of strength from the students, who made sure to stick together in the face of Hope's harsh behavior. That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any thoughts about these 10 best episodes from Education? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.